What is going on, people? Welcome back to another episode of the OTBn OG3 and OTBn production. As always, I'm joined by my guy Mo and Jeff. What's going on, fellas?
What's up? Super week.
It is Super Bowl week. Yeah, wow. It's crazy. Super Bowl week is here. I celebrated year 35 yesterday. Man, I'm feeling old. I'm feeling old, Jeff. I'm feeling old, man.
Man, but, you got the best years ahead of you, dog. Here's what them young kids make you feel old. Like it's like I'm serious. Like you get them raised and on their way, and they start making their own decisions. It's a fountain of youth, baby.
Yeah. Well, you'll see. You'll see.
Jeff in his 40s was an animal, like different animal. My kid graduated when I was 39. I've had 10 years. Shit's been on fire.
Jeff's just been chilling for the last 10 years.
You gotta work hard. You gotta work hard and raising kids, man. You gotta work hard. I'm a man. Like we're both maniacs now. My kid's a maniac. I'm a maniac. What I was thinking was, am I too old to keep my stickers on my hats like y'all? Because like you look fine with leaving your stickers on your hats, but I feel like somebody would be like, I feel like somebody feels sorry
my whole life. There's some hats I have that I have the stickers off.
You too, Mo? Always.
Yeah, it's just been a thing. Like
I leave the underneath
off. Sometimes they'll come off, and then I'll be like, "Dang that!" Like
the sticker underneath sometimes comes off quick, but the top is usually there forever.
Yeah, but if this one come off, I'll probably be like, "I don't know if I'll wear this hat again."
I'll wear that exactly.
Take a sticker off a hat that I never wear and put it on.
Yeah. No, I've taken stickers off I've gone into like Models or like something and like take the sticker off.
Models. Been to Models one time. That was cool.
It look naked. Like my hat look like you take this off in a naked bill. Like it just now it's like it looks naked.
So here's what would happen to me if I'm out and I leave my sticker on my hat, somebody gonna tap me on the shoulder and it feels sorry for me and be like, "Oh, excuse me, sir, I think you forgot to take your sticker off your hat." They'll think that I'm starting like my dementia stage. That's what'll happen to me if I leave my sticker on my hat. So I just wondered. I was just thinking. I always leave the underneath sticker.
I used to get mad when I was younger and my mom would buy me hats for like a birthday or Christmas and she'd take the stickers off. I'm like, "Ma, what are you doing?" She's like, "What? The stickers? You take the stickers off of your pants. You take your stickers off your shirt. You take always." It's like, "No, Ma. This is a style. You do not do this. I can't wear it. Take it back. I don't want it."
Yeah, I'm like that with the bill. Like I can't fuck with the like this. I like these hats because they're kind of.
I used to have like straight, like it's a New York thing. It was like straight like this. Like growing up, I was like this, but then as I got older,
you got a little bit of curve in it.
A little bit of curve and all. Like I can't go full dad. Like I wear dad hats, like what Mo wearing, like sometimes, but I don't like the way I have a big head, so it doesn't. Yeah. Some of the hats don't look great on me, so like that's why I'm still a fitted guy.
Can you all wear your hats backwards because my head's shaped weird? So like if I got a fitted hat, it don't fit the same backwards because I got this weird lump on the back of my head.
Hats I wear backwards.
Yeah,
I'm a dad hat backwards, fitted hat forwards.
Okay.
I just like the way that I don't like the way the dad hat looks on me.
I don't think I've ever seen Mo in a backwards hat.
Actually, I was just about to say I wear my hat forward until I'm drunk. It's a thing.
Oh, okay. Now does it do the transition?
It's a transition.
Or is it just
it's full blown, like he goes like this, he goes to Chris Brown.
It full blown, it goes from like, okay, we show up, we're here, we're like this, and then like it's just up that hat to the back. Like it's a thing. Like it's a thing. Like my wife, he knows about it. Like up his hats to the back. Like it's a thing. When all my homeboys that came for my son's first birthday, we all go out. So we're at the bar. I'm drunk. I'm drunk as all get out. But like it wasn't confirmed how drunk I was. Everybody was trying to convince me how drunk. I'm like, nah, I'm good. And then the hat went to the back, and it was like, up hat to the back. There it is. Like he's drunk. Like that's when we drunk.
No,
I feel that. I was like that when I was younger.
Mo starts doing the robot and starts popping the lock in.
But it was just I do start dancing though. Like if I go out, I dance. Like I don't care. I make a fool of myself. I ain't out there to impress nobody.
I'm the same way too.
Me too.
I'm there
at a work party.
I'm there with me and my company and like whoever I go with. So it's like if they cool, then I'm good. I'm not that man. I'm married. I ain't there to impress no. I want to enjoy myself. I'm here to
you sound exactly like me at your age, man. I swear. You sound exactly like I'm like, what do I care? I ain't out here.
Exactly.
And here's what's funny though, when you act like that, there's a certain percentage of the population that's like, oh, that's exactly what I was here looking for. I came here tonight.
Sometimes if you're the first person to do it, then I did that at a work party. Nobody's dancing. There's a DJ, and I'm like, you know what? I had a few in me, and I'm like, you know what? There's a DJ. He's playing like all the line dances and stuff. I went there. I was the first person to do it. And then everybody started trickling on the stage, and it was everybody was dancing. So.
Bro, I just did this a week ago, right? Like I told you all about the aftermath of my wife's office party, but we're like an hour in. Everybody's starting to. I'm watching everybody get the drinks, getting lubed up, and I'm like, I walk right behind me is the DJ, and this dude DJ is now like not like a DJ, it's just a dude with a laptop. No offense to that guy, but that's what it is. And I walked over and I was like, he was playing like some kind of mood music, some cool shit, but nothing like. And I walked over and I'm like, I literally walked over and I was like, bro, there've been a bunch of White Claws drank tonight. I think it's time for some 90s hip hop. And he's like, he goes, and this dude, what was so cool about this guy? Like, he don't look the part. Like, he's just kind of a big, not an insult, but kind of a big, goofy looking white dude. And he's like, all right, I got you. And dude lit it up. And next thing you know, man, boom, dance floor was full, drinks are flowing, everybody's having a good time. Yeah, it was cool. So I'm a jump starter also. That's weird because we're so shy. We're so shy. Like
and then it's crazy. Like I'm an Aquarius, and we're natural introverts. So for me to get out of my shell sometimes,
you've said that.
And it's crazy because like some people like, how do you when you do podcasts, like how do you like we do a podcast and then sometimes I'm like, I could be quiet and all that, but get a few drinks in me and I'm like, you know what,
man,
this is me.
You can't tell.
No,
I like to be the center of attention. I don't know.
Me.
What's your sign? What's your sign?
I'm a Gemini.
Oh, all right.
So it's like, but like, yeah, if you can't, if it hasn't already been like obvious, like I don't mind being the center of attention.
Me either.
I don't. You know what's crazy with like
get embarrassed
with like signs and stuff.
I will make.
I never thought about signs and like how that like signs don't mean nothing. Like matching. These signs are the best matches. And then once I got older, I'm like, bro, it makes kind of sense.
I don't know nothing about that.
Being an Aquarius, like Kev, me and Kev. That's why me and Kev work so good because we're both Aquariuses. And we have the same vibe.
That's stupid. Y'all believe that stuff.
I believe it's not all of it. I don't think it's 100%
nothing about it.
But you want me to
me and Kev get each other because we're both Aquarius. We're both laid back. But when we put the camera on,
I see the Gemini side because like so like growing up, I played ball. Like I played football, I played basketball, and I was good. So it was like the perception of like what type of person I was like, he was a point guard. Everybody knew his name. He had it like I had the good looking girls, but at the same time,
you were a quarterback too, right?
Like, yeah. But so
was a full job. Yeah, definitely.
No, listen, you would think that, but then at the same time, like we go in the classroom, like I'm the immature kid that's farting in class at the same time, getting everybody all laughing and giggling. I'm getting on the teacher's nerves, but I knew the line not to cross. So like I was the same. Like it was like, okay, you would think he was that, but nah, I was just like I was goofy. I walked through the day like. Like I was kind of an airhead too. Like I was oblivious to what was going on around me throughout the day. Like I was just, hey everybody, I'm here and I wanted to have a good time. So like I've always been like that. Like it's just, hey everybody, I want to have a good time. Like, bro, you showed up late to school, huh? Okay, well, who cares? Like,
yeah,
I'm the quarterback. I'm the quarterback. Tom Izzo's coming here to recruit me, so shut up.
me and Mo's cut from the same cloth.
Show. Yeah, I was just like, bro, I was just living life. Like, I went to school in church shoes and gym shorts. Like, I wore gym shorts and I had Nike Elite socks and I wore church shoes. And everybody was like, why'd you do it? And it was because somebody was like, I bet you a mountain.
You arrogant, bro.
You about to pull out.
Bro,
I bet you a Mountain Dew.
In gym class, giving people work in church shoes.
The John 3:16 shoes.
Man, look, no, I'm talking about the full. I'm not talking about the John 3:16.
The 5 Hail Marys.
I'm talking about the church shoes like the preacher got on Sunday type church shoes. Like I got not Jesus, I got on church shoes with Nike Elite socks, basketball shorts, and everybody was like, "Why is he doing this?" And it was just because somebody said, I bet you won't. And I was like, well, how much you want to bet? He was like, I bet you a Mountain Dew. And I was like, all right, cool.
Like, that's what it took.
And go get my Mountain Dew. Oh, man, I used to do the stuff I did, especially my senior year, the way I would come to school, people would be like, why? And then, why not?
Yeah.
Why not? Center of attention. Like, it was just center of attention.
Oh, man. Yeah. No, everybody, like, nobody, I won't say nobody forgets me, but like, I didn't blend in.
All eyes on me thing. Like, but it didn't matter. Like, I didn't need, like, everybody didn't have to be huddled around me. It was just all eyes on me. Like, he gonna do the weird
I used
stuff.
to be my first 2 years of high school, I was on the basketball team, I was on the football team, I was star linebacker, playing basketball.
I need to see Chris play some linebacker.
Top three. Oh, that's why I love linebacker.
What kind of linebacker? What was your
Mike.
type?
I was Mike.
Mike linebacker, thumper though back then.
I was a
right?
thumper and all that.
Thumper.
And I played some else.
You read the guard and threw your big head into the hole, right?
Yeah, so they used to put me a Mike in the first and second down, and then third down I would rush the passer and all that. Oof. So I was out, and then I had the bad girlfriend in high school.
You had so many concussions.
Oh my god! I probably had more
high school.
I probably had more concussions.
Fucked up,
Jeff. I probably have so many undiagnosed concussions.
Because you did that shit in practice too.
Oh my god, and we used to do like this thumping and like on like
and when
the lines
pregame.
I'm like, why are we doing this?
And Mo's out here wearing a red jersey.
Oh, I used to hate the quarterbacks. I used to hate
I hit because I played corner too. So like I hit on defense.
Okay. You guys didn't hit.
I didn't hide. Nah.
I was a defensive back. I wouldn't hit. I had to hit, but I did play scout team running back too.
All right, I have one story. Quick story. So we're in camp. We used to go to camp in like somewhere in the boondocks in Pennsylvania. They used to take us all the way from Staten Island, New York, drive us 4 hours.
Remember the Titans? Is that you?
It was some Jeff. It was some.
Was it Gettysburg?
I don't know where
it
was.
Did you solve racism?
I remember one story before I tell this. One guy stole my Lloyd Banks. It was Lloyd Banks came out with a new album. I still remember who it is who stole my album because they thought I was a freshman and they thought I was a punk. And I went and confronted the dude. He's like, I don't got it. I was like, I know you have it, bro. But
I was a strong side.
Strong side what? So I was playing middle line, and we used to play this is the early 2000s, 2003. So we used to play a 4-4-3. So
nice.
The linebacker next to me was recruited to our high school because he 6'3", 250. So I remember this play like it was yesterday. So the running back, we're just doing all first team versus first team. We're just going at each other. Physical practice. It's like one of the last plays of practice. And I remember it was toss right. And the middle linebacker has an open hole. Goes right through it. Blast the running back. His leg gets caught. When I say like a chicken wing, like the way you just snap a chicken wing, I remember like it was yesterday. Snapped in half. Ooh. We were all like, "Oh my god!" They stopped. They had to airlift dude to a hospital and all that. He never played again. Guy was saying, never played again. He never played again. He snapped it. He was a good athlete. He was on RB1. He was a really good running back. But he snapped it, and because our middle linebacker won every state award, city award. He was an all city. He was the best. And then they ruined him when he went to varsity because he was a freshman. Goes to varsity, they put him at guard, and they ruined him. And I used to be so pissed because I had hurt my knee, so I stopped playing after my sophomore year. And I used to be pissed because I'm like, "Yo, why'd they put you at guard?" He's like, "I don't know, bro. I want to play middle linebacker. I want to dump people. I don't want to be a guard." And because they didn't think he was fast enough. I was like, "Yeah, he kills people though." This is still an era where it's physical, early 2000s, You're still trying, even in high school, you're still trying to play that running attack. And it's just, I'm like, I hated it.
You scared Mo off just by talking about linebackers. A quarterback's like, I'm out.
Quarterback, there was not a red vest. He's like,
he's going to eat some bacon. Yeah. All right. So since Mo's not here, we should probably talk about sports. And when Mo gets back, I'm going to find out about his high school quarterback career.
I'm sure Mo is great. What's crazy? I could see Mo. He has the what's the thing the quarterbacks wear? The rib thing. He has it all loose. I could see Mo right now. He has it all loose. He's just He's flicking the ball with a finger. The ball's spinning. He's doing this in
he
practice.
warm up in just the rib pads.
The rib pads are
and
loose.
a tank top.
And a tank top. He has his do-rag. You know, he's got the visor.
It's hot down in Florida. It's hot.
Yeah, I can see how
it's hot. It's hot in Ohio warming up before a high school game. It's got to be hot as hell in Florida warming up before a high school game.
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, we were just talking about how you dressed probably pregame.
We were talking about your pregame.
You got the flap jacket just flapping. You
got
the
flap jacket, tank up, looking at the crowd, sweating because it's Florida.
You got the eye black ready. You're flicking the ball.
I don't think Mo's an eye black guy.
Not at all.
No,
I don't think
no eye black guy. But you're flicking the ball like you spin the ball around, talking shit.
No, not at all.
Number one. You wore number one.
So I wore number 5. My first year I wore number 19.
Ew.
Okay.
Yeah, I wore number 19.
That's like a fourth string. That's like a third string quarterback number.
I decided to play late, so that was the only number they had. Like I decided.
That's not a horrible. Like, there's something about that. I had 29 one year. Like I just made the best of it.
Yeah, I thought 19 was like it was like 19 or like it was 19 or something else, and I was like 19 ain't as ugly. Like, so yeah.
But then you got 5.
Cool,
Five's pretty dope.
5 is a good
5.
number.
Yeah,
I feel like
showing
5
showing up to school with that number 5.
5 is a good number. 5, 3, 1.
5 looks good on a 5 looks really on any position. 5 looks good on a football jersey. 5's a dope ass number. 5, 2.
I never want number 1.
3.
I think number 1 is a different statement. Number 1 is a different statement.
Number 1, you have to be the QB1 or the best receiver on the team, or top cornerback.
Sometimes 1 is just like the like not like a kicker. Like not 1 don't mean something on every team. Like 1, you gotta be careful with 1. Like it ain't always.
Yeah,
cool.
all right. I'll tell you like this.
I think
in high
like
school,
Ohio State 1's dope, but like if you play for Kansas State and you're 1, you're like, I don't know. You probably
like this though. In like high school though, number 1 on the other side, you don't get to win number 1 without like you gotta be
like
you one of the best players on your team. Number 1.
Yeah,
you didn't walk out of there like nope. Your teammates, like, you're not gonna let nobody like the dude who wears number 1. He may not be the best player, but he's that dude though. Like, if you're on a team full of dudes, if you're on a team full of dudes, he's one of those. Like, you know it. And so, like, wearing number 1 is like dawning. Like, I'm the one. Like, I'm one of those.
100%. Like, that's like a special number. They don't just give that out to like the backup. Like, I remember my high school, when I was a freshman, the varsity number 1 went to Michigan State, and then when he left, it went to a kid that went to Rutgers. So like those were like the guys.
Yeah, like mine was the opposite. It was like here's what we got left for the backup quarterback. Like nobody wanted number like. I don't know. That was like a leftover jersey. I mean, it's just a way.
Number one was.
But see, you got to remember too.
You got to see number 1 on the other
there's certain
side.
numbers.
I grew up before single digits were cool. When I was growing up, and I'm not even kidding, single digits were quarterback and kickers. That's it. Yeah, so like you didn't see a linebacker.
I think it changed with like my era.
Yeah, I was before that. So like, and it's cool. Like when it happened, I'm like, great. But like you wouldn't have saw a wide receiver wear number 8. Like everybody went by their numbers.
They went like NFL numbers. Yeah.
Yes, quarterbacks wore 0 through 19. You know what I mean?
That
like
kind of ended like
running backs wore.
Yeah,
like 20. If you got something in the 20s, it was kind of weird. Yeah,
it kind of shifted like in the 2000s. I feel like because I remember when I was in high school, like I wore a traditional number. Like I wore 52. I really wanted 6, but I was like, it's a linebacker numbers are in the 50s. Yeah, and like, there was certain athletes I wanted. That was my favorite number. So, but
a defensive player wearing number 6, like if he ain't like if he's on the line. Or a linebacker, don't fuck with the number 6 on defense.
I wanted 6, and I felt like I was worthy of 6 too. But I was like, you know what? I like Ray Lewis. He was my favorite.
I was outside.
I was like, let me wear 52.
Oh, that's dope. I was outside the box because I had 29 at wide receiver, and that looked weird. That's what kind of era I played high school football.
That's like a typical white receiver. Like you see
20s.
You see in college now, and they're underrated. Those 20s.
I was the actual typical. Like I wasn't one of these Lad McConkey dudes. I was a white wide receiver.
You saw the TikTok with him. Somebody did like a highlight reel of him, and like, Bill Belichick is going to take him with the first round
Belichick
pick.
should have drafted him last year, but he is a good receiver. Like no shit. That's a good receiver.
He is a good. All right, we talked about our high school. We relived our high school.
That was fun.
Glory years and all.
I just had a lot of fun doing that.
Those were fun years. I missed high school. And all that, but. Well, we're gonna get into some basketball talk, and all a couple things we're gonna get in. And first, let's start with the King, LeBron James, and then we're gonna talk about something that kind of he fits in the description of after that. So LeBron, obviously, the Lakers have not been playing their best basketball, even though they ended a 9-game win streak at the Garden.
And they accidentally beat the Celtics.
They beat the Celtics and all that without LeBron and AD, which is I think that's more telling about like the Celtics more than like the Lakers, because like the Celtics will always find ways to lose games like that. Like when they're heavy like favorites, they just and that's what worries about the Celtics, because they kind of it's always happened.
They just beat the Warriors too, though.
Like when they played the Heat
had a good week.
But when they played the Heat in the finals, they were the favorites, and then they get down 3-0. Then they come all the way back 3, and then they lose game 7. It's like, why is this such an up and down? But we'll talk about that another time.
I mean, the answer is Jaylen Brown.
Sidebar.
It ain't complicated. The answer, the highest player in NBA history can't be Jaylen Brown. That's your problem.
Yeah, that's
problem solved.
He's making a lot of money and all that. But LeBron James and all that, he's been doing some cryptic stuff and all that with the little hourglass on Twitter or X, whatever, and then with the new thing when after they won, helping the Knicks towel and all that, doing a little cryptic stuff. We see the meme of him staring at Darvin Ham and all that. So do we think LeBron is trying to plot a way to get out of LA, or is it just him playing the game, just letting them know like, hey, things ain't right. Y'all need to do something, and you need to do it quick because I'm old. So what do you think it is with LeBron? Is he trying to push his way out of LA, or is it just him just playing the game because he's LeBron?
I definitely don't think he wants to leave LA just because of his family and his businesses and all that. Like I don't think he wants to leave right now. I think LeBron is willing to be done with really trying to get a championship. Like, I think he's good. Like, I don't think he's willing to risk it all and move across country and do any of that. But he's definitely bored and he's screwing around. And he's messing with people. But I think also he knows it. You know what I mean? Like, I don't like he's been around long enough. I mean, this guy owns a $100 million media company. Like he knows what's up. You know what I mean? Like he's in tune with everything out there. Like nothing he does. Like when you catch him making a meme, like he knows he's making a meme. It ain't no different than Taylor Swift. Like when they show 10 seconds of Taylor Swift, she knows exactly. Like you notice how they never catch Taylor Swift like eating a hot dog or doing something stupid, because she is aware. Or LeBron's aware of everything. He just out here screwing around. He knows the deal. I bet his team knows the deal. I don't think Darvin Ham's I don't think it's like people think, but I might be wrong, but I think he's just out here screwing around because he's just a bored old man in midseason. I don't think he cares.
Bo, how you feel about LeBron and what are his antics lately?
Man, y'all know, man, I'm the avid, LeBron fan here over at the network. And so I roll for the fact LeBron's the GOAT. I won't get into that conversation, obviously, but y'all know, I love LeBron.
Oh, yeah, me too.
But, man, it's just, bro, it's another year, another trade deadline approaching, another LeBron talked about team. And then wash, rinse, and repeat every year. Every team, it doesn't matter who he's been with. They're in the trade deadline. They need to improve. They're trying to win the championship. LeBron's going to say what he says. He's going to do what he does. It's been like that for like almost his entire career. Like ever since he started winning, basically. Ever since he went to Miami and started winning, now he's going after the fact, like, you know, I'm trying to win championships, and that's all I play for. And this team needs to improve and this, that, and the other. But it's just kind of crazy because it's like we went from this offseason where a lot of people felt like the Lakers nailed the offseason. They re-signed. They basically brought the roster back that just reached the Western Conference Finals and only played a half a season together. So that's a great feat to me. If you told me that roster was coming back and they went to the Western Conference Finals, like I would think, yeah, it was key to keep every single one of them, and they did. But with injuries and everything else, like things don't work out. Sometimes, you know, guys start playing a little bit better, start playing a little bit worse. You know, it's full season now. Like it's a full off season to get used to each other. Now roles are definitive, and some guys will, you know, exceed expectations, and some guys won't meet expectations. But at the same time, like this was a team we thought like at bare minimum could get back to the Western Conference Finals. And I don't think that's all the way off the table at the end of the day, because they showed you they could do it last year. But it's just LeBron, like at a trade deadline, get ahead of the headlines. Like this dude is a businessman. Like at the end of the day, I know he's a clutch client, but you know, like when he retires, like he's gonna own that, right? So like the more his clients get in the news, like
he practically owns
payday
clutch
for
now.
these
He's
people,
just
bro. Yeah, but
can't
like
be
this is
associated
payday
with
for
them
these
technically.
folks. Like who would, man, LeBron could get traded. LeBron ain't getting traded. And then it's like, oh, well, who could they trade for? Fellow clutch client, DeJounte Murray. Oh, who else could be in the deal? Oh, fellow clutch client. Oh, the Lakers are interested in him. Him and 5 other teams are all interested in this guy. But for a fellow clutch client, the trade package would look like clutch client for clutch client for clutch client and 3 first-round picks. Like, so that's what it looked like in the NBA right now, too. So, you know, and I do think, you know, some of the moves LeBron makes, I think, is bigger than basketball. And sometimes I think like it's more for the success of some of these people when he leaves, and like taking care of these clutch clients. Why you think they're always traded and trying to get to better situations, and what makes more sense, and get them back in the news and popping, and at least for another 2 to 3 weeks, let's be concerned about this player and what they can contribute to their new team. So like I do think he helped these players out, whether you acknowledge it or not. And you'll see it a lot more, you know, once he retires and we can actually acknowledge like that's what he does. That's his job. You know, he's helping these guys move around. But I think he's even doing it, and he's helped guys get into better situations that are part of clutch that doesn't benefit him winning championships essentially, but it does help out. And they're always in the news. So I don't know. It just get a little bit old though. Like I'd be cool when LeBron leaves just because like all the positive and negative conversation that come with LeBron James in the NBA will be out the way. And I think we could get back to talking more ball instead of worried about what LeBron got going, or the fact that LeBron knows everybody worried about what he got going, so he plays into the antics. Either way, you take that out of the equation. I think, you know, I think basketball discourse will go back. I think it'll be fixed when LeBron leaves, and I love LeBron James, and I hate to say it, but I think holding on to that, I think the GOAT conversation ends now, you know, until LeBron's time again.
A lot of conversations end.
Like a lot of conversations end, so now you just talk ball. Like now we got to just talk ball. Now we got to learn a little bit of the X's and O's, 'cause we don't have that GOAT conversation.
But like
no more.
shows that not like ours are going to be completely different. Like the morning talk shows are going to be completely different.
Just a quick thought, like in my opinion, like LeBron's like this is we've never said this. Like LeBron's closer to owning or being part owner of an NBA team, I think, than he is his next championship. Like that's where we're at with LeBron. Like you can't overestimate what a big deal he is as a businessman and his corporations and everything he touches. Like Mo said, like it's way bigger. It's way bigger picture. I don't put too much into it. I think Mo said that's 5 minutes of like awesome. Like I think he summed up LeBron's where he's at right now in his career. I think he's got a better handle on it than anybody. I agree with everything he said. And
if you think
as much as I'll be sad, I'm good. Like I'm finally good.
If you think his bottom line right now is just basketball, it's not, man. There's a lot of politics. You know, the possibility of him denying his player option and going to play with his son. So now that incentivizes the team to draft his son.
Is his son going pro?
Listen, Jeff. It ain't about whether this kid is ready or not. This kid bring more money than probably a prospect that could start day one. He brings more money because you know what he probably brings? His father. So now we have this father-son story, this LeBron James Jr. and LeBron James.
That's
Ramon
crazy.
James Jr. and LeBron
It's never
James.
We've never seen a father-son duo in play together in the NBA.
We've never
not
seen,
even cool.
and and you would be saying LeBron is still at the peak of, if we were to see it, if we were to even see a dad would have been like 38 years old. He ain't giving guys 25, 26 a night.
Yeah, he
like
would be washed.
LeBron can still really play
LeBron's
ball.
still
like
playing pretty well.
If you're a team that drafts Bronny and you're like, okay,
if I draft Bronny,
but I get LeBron in the process in free agency, what did I just do? Especially, let's say you're like OKC, who got all these draft picks, so you can waste a pick on Bronny, whether he pans out in the league or not. You got many draft picks. Everybody ain't gonna pan out anyway, so you can waste the pick. You done brought LeBron to OKC, and then you look at that roster. Who cares about adding Bronny? No offense to Bronny. He could be great. He could not be. But I'm saying for the right now, you added Bronny. They're going to blow some teams out. They're going to be getting blown out. It's the regular season. You're going to put LeBron and his son on the court. Plenty of times for national television to see. And then guess what? You're adding LeBron to a team with Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, Chet Holmgren. So now you're like a championship contender in the process. There's a couple teams that can afford that. The New York Knicks are also one of those teams that can afford to waste a draft pick if you feel like it's being wasted on Bronny, just because
way too many
the dollar signs that come behind a Bronny and LeBron on the same team in jersey sales and marketing for that franchise is well worth whatever you think, because unless you tell me that one draft pick that you wasted on Bronny is going to bring you a championship, it's going to be the next superstar.
That's fair. Teams waste draft picks.
Because you can't guarantee me that. I can guarantee you Bronny's coming with money signs. I can guarantee you that Bronny and Bron, if they're both playing together, I can guarantee you what it's going to do for the market.
Yeah,
I can promise you that.
No, that's a great point, because teams waste draft. Like, we don't know right now if Scoot was a wasted draft pick. Like, you might as well get Bronny and get his dad. Like, I'm saying, like, I see your point.
Like, there's Bronny get his dad, and I might as well get money for a year. I might as well make so many millions for, even if it's just for these two for a year. And then in the process, and if you want me to tell you, and I know this is going to sound crazy, this is going to sound very Homer, just hear me for a second before we move on. I think if the Miami Heat, if there was a team that would realistically do it, and let's say Bron had a list of teams, I say the Miami Heat would do it, and here's why I say they would do it. Because drafting Bronny would not feel like a wasted pick. You want me to tell you why? Because the Heat trust their farm system of developing players. So whoever they draft, they feel like is going to be a good player and will contribute to this team in the next couple years. At bar minimum, if you get drafted by the Heat, that's how they feel about you.
I think him and Pat Riley have there's too much animosity.
It could, but it just – and you know, there's been those people that I know, the hot take people, and I'm not talking about the hot take people that like us on our level. I'm talking about the bigger ones that do still have enough sources that they throw stuff out there and it sound kind of crazy, but like the possibility of like the thought that could happen in Miami being named so heavily of like they're scouting LeBron James Jr. so heavily is like that's getting thrown out there for a reason. They want the Miami Heat want that known for a reason, right? Like there's a reason for that. We want it known that we're out here scouting your son. So it's a possibility. Like the Bronny James sweepstakes in that middle of the first round and on could get really interesting if LeBron says, you know what, I'm denying my player option. Because, you know, the draft is before free agency. So LeBron could say, I'm going to wait until Bronny gets drafted and make my decision on whether I'm going to play in LA or not. And then he could entertain it, and boom, the Bronny James. So now leading up to the draft, you're thinking about Bron ain't made a decision. If I draft Bronny, you're not going to take him with the number one pick. It's not going to go like that.
That might be his whole thing in this.
Them top 10 to 15 prospects probably going to go where they go. After that, if you don't think if after the top 10 to 15, if you don't think they difference makers day one, you start contemplating
this draft especially.
James Jr.
This draft is so rangy as far as like there's some people who think the number one pick like Alex Sarr can be like he's more like top 10 to 15. Cody Williams. So this draft is all over the place. It's never been a draft quite like this where the number 12, someone's 12th ranked guy can be someone's number one guy. So like it's so wide range that like you don't really know. Like if you look at any mock, usually mock drafts are all over, but this one, especially this year, everyone's mock draft or big board is going to be literally all over the place. So like LeBron James, June, like Bronny, there's some people who still think he's a top 20 pick. Some people think I wouldn't draft him at all. So his range is kind of, but if you're a team that has multiple picks and thinks, all right, let's just if there's a year where we could probably punt on the draft and just take a shot. Hey, we got cap space. If this gives us a shot to get LeBron and helps us with tickets, because we all know he's a business. LeBron comes, he's a business. He's going to help your business, right? We all know the NBA is a business, you know. Now, so I could see that where people take a shot like Bronny. And listen, I know people crap on Bronny James. They look at his stats and like, oh, he's not a good player. This kid had cardiac arrest. Let's give the kid a break. All right. Let's give the kid a break and all that. And like, I think he can play. Like he just had a game against Oregon, played really good basketball second half. So like, let him get in his rhythm and all that. Let him get comfortable. Let him go at his own rate. Now, I think he should stay in school, but who am I? You know, if he wants to go pro, do your thing. If there was a year to go pro this year, this year, especially with the draft being there's no clear cut number one and like the top 10s, everyone's all over the place this year. So I think it's a bigness thing, you know, for any team. Like the Rockets have a crap load of money. If you're San Antonio, if you're Pop, you pair Wemby with LeBron. Why wouldn't you want that? If you're the New York Knicks, you have to take advantage of this win now opportunity. Brunson's playing great.
I can't in my life see LeBron as a Knick. That's the weirdest thing. Do y'all want him?
I would love LeBron. If you would be, I don't care.
I just assumed New York was like, nah.
New York doesn't know what they want half the time, so you can't really go off the bat.
That's true.
That's true. So, but like, to be on, why wouldn't you want LeBron James on your team?
I don't know. I just assume,
I'm just saying, that feels like him in the Garden is some. We needed some. Him being in the Garden would be a spectacle. Like it would be such an amazing thing, even if it's for a year or so. It would be cool. I don't think it's gonna happen, but I wouldn't mind it. You know, being on. And they have a couple first round picks. They have potential to have 3 first round picks in this draft.
I think Mo's right. I think LeBron trying to get his kid drafted higher, and then he's just gonna be a Laker and be like, he's just helping his kid out. I don't think it's anything.
But I can see him opting out.
I think LeBron is. I think he's only helping other players out and messing around. Like, dude, he got to be comfortable as hell in LA. Like comfortable.
He has the FU money, so like it's not like, oh, I'm worried about the taxes in LA. Like, no, he has enough money where the tax doesn't matter about the taxes in LA.
Honestly,
and his younger son too is in Sierra Canyon, so he's still worried about the younger son too.
And he's a family guy. Like I finally consider him like a Laker. Like I feel like at this point, like when I look back over time,
Lakers fans don't appreciate him though. But
he's getting close to like there for a while. I was like, nah, he's not a Laker yet. But I'm starting to be like, when I look back over time, 20 years from now, I'm like, yeah, LeBron was a Laker. Like I feel like he was a Laker.
Well, yeah. Once he won a championship, he was a Laker. But
but it was still.
We got the bubble thing and all that. Like I
don't consider. What I'm saying is like I don't consider KD a Warrior. Like when I look back over the Warriors, I'll forget.
He was only there 3 years.
I'll forget that KD played for the Warriors and he won 2 championships. But I'll just forget.
I think if he three-peated, that would have helped him, like his case. But I think with LeBron and all that, like I think he's just playing games. I think he's just playing the game.
People pay too much attention.
But Momo to a good point, and I didn't think about this. Like the way the game's gonna be covered when he's gone, it's going to be good and bad, because now for a lot of these shows you won't have the focus on LeBron, because if LeBron is, think about it, just think about it as a political standpoint and just that worldwide news. They talk about LeBron like as if he's a political figure. And LeBron's
You know what would kill mainstream media? There's 2 things that would kill mainstream media.
Because there could be nobody else for them to point at that LeBron figure.
And if they happened at the same time, let's just hypothetically say one summer could blow up mainstream media. LeBron retiring from the NBA and Jerry Jones selling the Dallas Cowboys. If them 2 things happen simultaneously, ESPN and everybody else, Fox Sports and everybody
James
else, going to be scrambling to be trying.
What's bigger, James Dolan selling it or Jerry Jones selling this team?
Jerry Jones, because I don't think you will. If Jerry Jones sells the Cowboys, they will no longer be considered America's team. We may not have an America's team, and we may be waiting to be seen who's considered the next America's team. But they will not be considered America's team no longer when the Jones family sells them, and you may not have an owner that's going to constantly throw the Cowboys in your face. So it changes.
It's like the Steinbrenners, right?
Jerry Jones going to do something cryptic. He gonna make
not the same, right? The Yankees don't have the same feel.
Yeah, it's not. But like, because Jerry Jones is a businessman too. Like, just think about it. I just heard earlier today on radio, they still talk about the Cowboys. They've been talking about it for the past 3 weeks. You still getting content. Now you're digging up what Michael Parsons saying. That, you know why? Because it sells the minute. But 100%. Jerry Jones sells, and 100%. Jerry Jones going to throw it in your face. And these players, they take on the persona of their owner. And so they're very outgoing and very let you in and very talk our noise and sell our product. So, like, bro, I'm telling you, if LeBron retired and Jerry Jones sold the Cowboys, ESPN will crash and lay off everybody. I'm telling you, those two things would hurt.
When he retires,
because now you have to really talk sports. And guess what? Now you start to find out that people really don't know sports.
They don't
know
anything about basketball.
They know narratives, they know drama, but they don't know
all
sports.
Those Fox Sports shows would be gone.
Now you got to talk a little basketball. Now you got to talk about what you see on the field, not just the narratives that go along with the game.
It's Super Bowl week, and rather than like talk about the X's and O's, they'd rather talk about Taylor Swift because it's easier. Crazy, like they'll just find something stupid to talk about. But you're right. You're totally right.
100% right.
But they won't get better. They won't get better. They just make shit up.
Yeah, but
it's gonna come to
here's what they'll do. Mo, let me tell you what they're gonna do. And this is what they'll do. They'll find a guy, they'll pick a guy, whether it's Jokic or
but I don't know about Jokic. He doesn't speak enough.
No. Here's what they'll do.
He's not American.
This is all they gotta do. All they gotta do is put out some quotes, some memes, get him to say one thing, turn him into a villain or a hero. And then go at it. It's all it is, man.
I think it needs to be like a African-American
right.
American
I'm dancing around it here is what I'm saying.
You need that
because I'm gonna tell you who it was supposed to be. I'm gonna tell you who it was supposed to be.
KD.
It was supposed to be Ja. No.
Oh, Ja.
Like, I'm talking about as
to
right
be the
now,
face.
Like,
it
was
supposed
to be Ja. Well, it was Zion, but we just assumed it was Zion. But I'm talking about when it became realistic that like we do need a new face of the NBA, and who is going to take that crown? It just like it would be. It looked like it would be Giannis, right? And then Giannis won the championship, but then his championship came and went, and he didn't win the next year, and he didn't win an MVP. And in that year, what happened? Ja became a national star. Ja put Memphis Grizzlies basketball back on the map. Ja was a superstar. He was an Instagram. He gets a Nike deal. Like the kids love Ja. He's everybody's favorite player. Like he's the social media sensation. So it made sense. Then he gets in a little bit of trouble. Now, like the NBA is like, dang,
don't have one.
That was because that was the one. That was the one that you could have put up there in the heart of Memphis.
They had two in one draft class.
But like even Zion came and went a long time ago, and they had put Ja in there. Well, Zion came and went to them when Ja was their guy. Zion had came and went. He even went and signed with Team Jordan. Ain't nobody that ever signed with Team Jordan ever been no face of the league. The face of the league gonna be signed with Nike. I almost promise you that. And there's one person that I think could push for that. And I think Adidas and everybody trying to push for Anthony Edwards to be the face of the league. But I'm gonna tell you, I really think it's hard. I do not see the face of the league not being signed with Nike because since after Michael Jordan, and Jordan is with Nike, but no Team Jordan athlete has ever been the face of the league. It's all been Nike athletes from Kobe to LeBron. The next athlete we were looking for was like, we thought it could have been Steph. It could have broke the mold, and he would have been and he was kind of the face of the league, but then we were throwing KD in there. Like it is that Nike.
It's got to be somebody
different too, though.
And the guy might not exist, but it has to be somebody that's willing to step outside the box off the court. Like he's got to be willing to,
You have to be transcended off the court.
LeBron, like that's what everybody will forget about LeBron. Like he was willing to risk it all.
Not be a European though. Like it won't be.
No, it's not.
No, but I'm saying like
because you can't sell it. You can't sell it.
Have
it won't
to.
sell enough. It's never.
You have to come up with somebody that you can make billions of people hate that don't watch a game, that don't know a thing about basketball, that only maybe watch Sports Center, but you have to drum up somebody that like so many people can root against. Like it's like Mahomes is that guy. Like everybody,
but
like I talked to so many people who are like, I'm rooting against Mahomes. Like they don't know why.
But you have to win. Like but
what nobody's
you have to do though. Nobody's won enough to do that.
No, that's what I'm saying. You got
like,
what I'm saying is
don't
LeBron,
have a back-to-back championship. Jokic don't have none of those guys got back-to-back. Nothing.
But
they haven't won enough to be hated.
Even when they win, even when they win, like
KD should have been that.
Jamal Murray didn't say shit after he won. Like he could have came out and made people mad. He ain't that guy. Like,
but if you got to get
Steph wasn't that guy.
You turn
Draymond Green's that guy, but he's not good enough.
But you start to turn into that guy. You start to turn into that guy when people get tired of you winning or being in the race to win. So when you're going into your
that's what I'm saying.
Nobody else. If KD stayed in Golden State, that would be him right now. And I think because he goes at fans. I think had he stayed in Golden State, that would be him right now because he would have hit the point. He would have got at least one more, at least one. Yep. Now he got 3, and now you tired of him winning. Like now you tired. Of, you know what I'm saying? Now you tired of KD winning. And he's one of the 2 or 3 best players in the league at the time.
But also, like, you have to find a way. Like, I know, like, not it has nothing to do with gender or whatever. But like, I literally know housewives who hate LeBron James, and I'm like, there ain't no way you've watched an NBA basketball game in your life.
I just know a story about,
but they know they hate LeBron James. Yeah. They know they hate LeBron James. That it's and I'm not saying a guy even wants to do that or
the way they view stuff politically.
That's a rare. It's
crazy.
And you almost the thing is, this is the first time where we don't see like a clear cut person that'll take on that role because that's a different type of role.
But Jordan wasn't that guy either. Let's be clear. Like Jordan wasn't that guy.
No,
like Jordan.
He was such a star.
He was
like
such
his
a
aura.
Star, though.
Yeah, it's just like for some reason.
I will tell you this:
everything just gravitated to him, and he was just bigger than life.
Jordan was rooted against more for the actual basketball stuff, than LeBron James is. Like Jordan was like all the people that like
people today would hate Michael Jordan.
Oh, today it would be crazy, but back then, like most of the people that rooted against him, like really watched and were just like wanting to beat him on the court, as opposed to like LeBron. America wants LeBron James embarrassed. Like it ain't got nothing to do with the basketball. They want him to fit. They want to topple. Like we all know what we're saying here. Like that guy, and that's fine. Like nobody has to be that guy. And it's sad that guy is, but like that's what churns. That's what makes the machine run. That's what makes people talk. That's what gives. How much money has Skip Bayless made off LeBron James? He
made a career off of it. He made a career
like a millions and millions off LeBron James just being around.
A lot of
you
money.
Can't do that with Edwards right now. You can't do that with anybody.
You're 100% right, Jeff.
Nobody knows who Jamal Murray is if you don't watch basketball. And
that's going to be
a championship, and he's a great player. Ain't nobody knows who he is if you don't watch basketball.
And like in the same light, if we want to be honest, and like I don't know, but like bro, Shannon Sharpe is a superstar because like of the Skip Bayless making a career off of it, and then Shannon Sharpe being the pro LeBron. Like that battle made it like that undisputed. When 100%. They were together, it was pretty iconic. There were plenty of moments, especially with social media, and everybody connected to Shannon Sharpe anyway. Yep. And then boom, now he's become bigger than life because what does he do? All he did was everybody seen how big of a star he was. That's Uncle Shay Shay. He goes straight from Skip to Stephen A. Smith. He jumped from Fox to ESPN. Then he linked with Colin Coward to do. He moved Uncle Shay Shay from Fox.
All LeBron.
Coward. Man, he went everybody off of the fact of he was.
Here's what I'm saying.
It starts with he was pro LeBron.
Go to a monster truck rally or a hockey game and ask how many people care or know about SGA. Just ask them. Like, what do you feel about SGA? I'm being serious. Like, and it's not a knock against him, but I'm saying like. Because it ain't got nothing to do with the basketball court. But you ask him about LeBron James, they all got an opinion. Yeah. And they ain't watched him play a game. Ain't why I talk to 30 people a day that hate LeBron James. Ain't watching him play a basketball game in 20 years.
They hate his
and
guts
hating.
and just for no
and
reason.
He loves it.
Yeah. And what's crazy is
that's
that
what I'm saying. Like nobody
Jeff,
like Giannis. Everybody's like, oh, he's cute. Like nobody hates Giannis.
Yeah. But it's crazy, Jeff, because like if I told you the story, and like I have sentiment with the story, because like growing up, single mom, you know, not having your dad, like that story would people would love. People really do love that story. If you told any, whether you're left, right, doesn't matter, conservative, liberal, it doesn't matter. If I told you this person grew up with a teenage mother, no father in her life, and he grew up to be a billionaire.
Yeah, as long as you don't tell them what he does for a living or show them a picture.
But you tell them
they love it until they know how he did it and what he looks like.
But I tell you, he's an NBA player, and there's certain things that he doesn't politically.
You tell me invented software, everybody's on board. Oh man, so smart. You tell me he plays a tuba, everybody's on board. You tell me he plays basketball, it's like, man,
it's crazy. Do I think LeBron James? I think because he's still a mega star. That I think a team would trade for him. I think so, but I don't think he's traded though. So
he is beyond famous. Like he's in another stratosphere of famous.
He's known by his one name, LeBron. If I say LeBron, we all know who we're talking.
Just do this. Who is the second most famous? Who's the second most famous, worldwide famous player in the NBA?
I'm known because of him. People look at I have LeBron tatted on my arm. I have LeBron tatted on my arm, and people
what I'm saying is like, what's Steph like? Steph's not polarizing. Steph don't do movies.
But
I'm saying, but look at the gap.
Second most popular player. It's a gap. It's a massive gap.
Worldwide famous, worldwide recognizable. You say a name.
Basketball player?
Like Kawhi Leonard's one of the greatest players we ever saw. Ain't nobody knows who Kawhi Leonard is outside of basketball fans, and that's fine.
But is this an issue? Is this going to be like, because Mo brought up before, like this is going to be good and bad, because now we can get more to basketball talk, but the NBA thrives off like LeBron. Like LeBron is an entity. Now that entity is gone, it's like, yeah, we have a bunch of really, really elite level basketball. We don't have that guy.
I think it's possible.
Is that a good thing, or is that eventually it may not be eventually, like right now it might not be bad, but down the line, where like in 5 years, like nobody's taking the throne.
I think we'll create characters. Look what Lamar Jackson's done. Look what all these young Joe Burrow's done. Like we can create like big time. We thought the NFL was the same way. Like, oh, Brady's leaving, Rodgers getting old. All these dudes, like nobody like. More people like think about Lamar Jackson now than Aaron Rodgers.
But Jeff, we have Patrick Mahomes though. We have Patrick Mahomes. When Jordan left, we had Kobe Bryant, and then LeBron comes in, and LeBron's taking that mantle. There's not even like KD's there, but KD's not that person now. People,
but I think somebody will step up. I think somebody stepped up.
Listen to what the era that you about to hit in though, Chris. LeBron about to leave, right? So, okay, LeBron, KD, and Steph, they all about to leave, right?
They're gone in the next 3 to 4 years.
So let's say for ratings sakes and stuff that we got to keep around.
Who's that ratings guy? That's going to be an issue.
No, listen, it's not even about the ratings. You know what content and you know what ESPN is going to be able to talk about. Let's just say, no, as of right now, Giannis only got one. Jokic only got one. Booker, and I could go down the list. You're entering an era of a bunch of guys that we know are great, but the championships aren't adding up. They don't have multiple. They haven't been to multiple appearances. They haven't won one yet. They haven't played in one yet. They haven't played in the conference finals. Like, you're really about to walk into this next era. These guys entering their prime, the Tatums, or in their prime and entering their prime, the Embiids, Tatum, Jokic, and all that. As of right now, their failures could be imploded, and then when they do start winning, they could turn into the next superstar. Like, they are all entering their prime, but now they have to start winning. And so you were going to be able to kill a lot of these guys, and a lot of these guys have enough persona that, like, hating on Jason Tatum can make you a small little living on top of talking a little bit of basketball, because he's also a Boston Celtic. Like, you can hate on Jason Tatum and get a living and put the pressure on
the team. Yeah. I think, like, if you're a Laker, the Lakers, like, having a star player after LeBron is going to help or as far as having that name. Celtics having Jason Tatum. I think the Bulls, you need the Bulls to have someone. I feel like that is desperately,
but it's not.
You
It's
need
but,
like they had Derrick. People still talk about Derrick Rose, and Derrick Rose hasn't been a Chicago Bull in like 6 years.
The basketball,
his era ended 10 years ago.
The basketball is going to be fine. What I'm saying is the bigger the reach outside of basketball.
Outside,
It just, and I don't blame these guys. Like, how are you going to tell Jaylen Brown to do anything extra? Like, why would he? He's like, I'm playing basketball for a living.
He doesn't even like being in Boston.
I'm making 60, 70 million. Like, okay, Cat's about to get the super max, like next year or the year after or whatever. Why would that dude speak out against social injustice? Why would that dude speak out against poverty? Like, what would be the inspiration?
It's going to take someone like that. It's going to take
someone like that. I'm saying I don't even blame him. I'm not even hurting him.
You got to be larger than life. And like, the thing is, like, I just don't. Like, LeBron was blessed to be larger than life before he even hit that stage. LeBron was a superstar before he hit that stage. So he had a brand well before he even got paid the millions, like really got paid the millions. So he was going to get the millions regardless. His name had worth. Like
but he also stayed.
LeBron James.
He's an A-lister.
No, but here's what more important.
And
he also stayed healthy. If LeBron blows out his knee in the bubble, like, America squashes him. Like, I'm just telling you, like, he also went out on a limb, like everything that he did, he was able to do because his level of play stayed up. Like the risk that he took, he backed it up with his play, the trades, everything. Like, a lot of these dudes are like, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. And then, like, if they don't, a little bit like KD going to the Nets, that could have been ginormous. It failed. So, like, we're not talking about it.
If he goes to the New York team.
hey, we all know, like, if
you don't go to the backup New York team,
but it doesn't matter if his foot don't touch the line, he's got a championship. And in New York, and we're talking about it, but he didn't. So LeBron has backed it up everywhere he's went, and that's what people hate about him.
He also playing for the Lakers helps him too, because it adds.
But it wouldn't have mattered. No, LeBron could go. It did not matter. LeBron playing Cleveland is the most popular athlete on the planet.
LeBron could have left Cleveland, not went to LA, and LeBron could have went to Portland. And like, Portland would be the most talked about team in the league. Like, it was LeBron.
I'm not arguing that, but I'm saying being a Laker adds to it too. Like, LeBron's gonna be whatever, but like, now he's a Laker too, and like the aura of being a Laker, like, you need championships plural to be considered a Laker. It adds to that aura of LeBron James and all that. Like Kobe Bryant's passing too. Like, Kobe Bryant's passing.
I just feel like at the time that he joined the team. At the time that he joined the team.
Being a Laker, that's something though. It's not like being a Grizzly or a Portland Trail, but being a Laker is like, yo, you wear this jersey, you better live up. Like, but Dwight Howard got killed for being a Laker.
But it's two different things. The basketball side of it is replaceable. The outside basketball side of it is nobody cares he's a Laker. Like, nobody cares. Like, it is literally the brand is LeBron. The team is LeBron. Like, nobody cares.
He carries a Laker because he gets judged on.
Sports people. No. Sports people care that he's a Laker.
Oh yeah, sports. Yeah, but listen, that's never going to.
Oh, you're talking about outside people.
I'm saying his fame outside of basketball.
I thought you meant like sport, like basketball people. Like, they carry he's a Laker. Outside people, they don't care. No, they don't care.
Yeah. Here's what you know. What the closest comparison, and not this isn't a comparison, but to as far as like it didn't matter team is like how it was like with Muhammad Ali. It was like Muhammad Ali, the athlete, was what was polarizing and what was hated or what was rooted for. Like
the person.
That's like LeBron is like not in that category because he never had to sacrifice and go through all that. But like on his it's his person. His person is what is polarizing. His face, his speech, his commercials. Like, ain't nobody cares what team he plays on. It doesn't matter what team
the Cavaliers, it's still talked about. Like, 13 years later, the decision is still, people still are mad at the decision. It's a decision that's been happened forever. People have been leaving teams to go play to win a championship and all that forever, and it's still talked about. People hate that about it. And
he's just different. They'll never. They're just. It'll be decades maybe before we see an athlete like this. Decades.
I don't know if we might not ever see this again.
We just saw Lamar Jackson negotiate his own contract, one of the biggest in NFL history, and everybody's like, that's fine. Let LeBron James do, like LeBron James, everybody forgets LeBron James mostly plays on 1-year contracts. Like the dude has risked it all for 20 years. And everybody's like, nope, still don't do it right. Still don't do it right.
But it's just crazy how like nobody validates his championships. It's always like, well, he won it with this person, or he did it when this first, he did it in the bubble. It just feels like everyone's always pick something with LeBron and not like, and it's like, you guys, and Mo was right. Once his career is over, and it's 5 years from now, because we do this with every player, when you get time to settle down, their careers are over. Most people who are haters and all that, you sit back and you're like, man, why was I such a hate? Like this guy was actually really good. Like we all go through those like guys maybe we didn't watch a lot and like, man, that was a really good player, or like person we were like, oh, I hate like a rival, a person on a rival team like David Ortiz for me. Can't stand him. But then like I sit back and I'm like, my goodness, he's
a pretty good baseball player.
He was a really good I hated him because he played for the arch rival. I hated, all these players, these players on it because they're on my rival. But then you sit back, you're like, damn, man.
I still hate John Starks and Karl Malone and John Stockton for life. For life.
There's certain guys that this forever, I still hate Pat Riley. I think Knicks fans, he's still public in for what he did. But that's his rivalries. We don't hate the person.
Like Mo hates Tampa. Just everything. It just hates Tampa.
I hate the Bucks. Just the Bucks.
He hates the Bucks and all
that.
All
right. We got carried away with LeBron there. I'm gonna have to wrap this up.
Yeah. So one more thing, and this kind of is a LeBron thing, and it's superstar, because I feel like a lot of people have different interpretations of a superstar. It doesn't matter the sport. Everybody has, but especially in basketball, it feels like I've heard, and I'm a Knicks fan, I've heard Jalen Brunson be called a superstar. And if you guys know me, my superstars, Mo, my superstar cat, like to be a superstar, this level. And Brunson, I think he's a star, he's a budding star, he's definitely not a superstar. So there's been a lot of takes about superstar. Who is a superstar? What is your definition of a superstar? So Jeff, I wanted to go first before we sign off. What in basketball world, what's your definition of a superstar, and who would you put in that category right now?
Well, I mean, you got to be able to carry your team in any situation.
I think we all agree on that, right?
You got to be able to win a game by yourself. You got to be able to make big shots.
Take over.
You got to be able to take over. But you also got to be a fantastic, player. You got to be a guy that could go to the other team and win the game. Like if a game's tied at halftime and you go to the other side of the court, you got to be able to win the game. Brunson is close. Luka's close. All these guys are so close right now. SGA has the potential.
He's a playoff run away from getting there.
Yeah. I think Luka's probably the closest because I've seen him win games in multiple ways.
Take over,
with players hurt, take over, not shy away. Also a guy that when who's going to get the ball, it's going to be him, and he still scores. I would say right now Luka's up there. Giannis was a couple years ago. Right now, just with this Bucks team, I can't really say that, even though I'm pretty sure it's in there. I just haven't seen him take over like he did a couple years ago. So honestly, he's a step back, but just guys like Luka. So man, if Luka comes to your team, you're going to win. You got a very good chance to win that game. LeBron's just not there right now. He's got everything except for he's aging, the skill's declining. But I'm not going to sit here and say Luka's the best player in the league. But as far as a superstar, if he comes into your building that night, he might win. So it's a guy like Luka that can beat you in multiple ways. He can score. He can do it all. But everybody knows he's going to do it. You know what I mean? Not somebody like Steph. Steph was a superstar. He's probably still. You know what? Steph is probably still a superstar for a game. If you tell me we need you for a game, he will light you up for a game. So I still think he's in that category. There's some young guys that are right there. Kawhi Leonard might be. I think he still has it in him, but I just need to see it in the playoffs just because it's been such a bad run for him over the last few years. But a guy like Kawhi Leonard, you know, again, it's all about you're the best player on the court. They know you're the best player on the court, but you have the ball, you know, in crunch time and you take over and all that. So that's my superstar in the NBA. I don't really care about the fame or the movies or any of that. Like it's all about like if I'm a opposing fan, I'm scared to death that this guy has the ball in the fourth quarter.
100%. Mo, what's your interpretation of a superstar and who's in that superstar category for you?
Yeah, I've lightened up my definition of superstar only because how I used to look at superstar, you can't really look at it right now because, I mean, then you start imagining guys I wouldn't like. Based on my old criteria, Joel Embiid's not a superstar. Based on my old criteria, Luka Doncic isn't a superstar. Based on my old criteria, like there's certain guys that are superstars, and it's like I think Joel Embiid's a superstar. Like he's must-see TV. He gave people 60. He scored 30 plus. He's got
that's fair.
He's got an MVP. He looked like he's on his way to win back-to-back MVPs. Obviously, the 65-game rule is in effect. He got an injury. He's probably not going to be eligible to win it, but like he was on his way to back-to-back MVPs, back-to-back scoring titles. Like, is this going to be the year? Like, he's in the news enough. We put enough pressure on him that he's got to be a superstar because we care. We think he has to win a championship to put him in that tier that we know he's in talent-wise and that we know we see him in on a Thursday night on TNT or a Sunday afternoon on ABC or a Wednesday night on ESPN against Jokic. Like, we know that dude is arguably the best player in the league. So I think Jokic, like, so, I mean, to say, like, Embiid's not one, but Jokic is, like, they're the same. Like, I know
No,
Jokic
I like them both. I agree.
Like, Jokic won the championship, but to say that Jokic is one, but Embiid's not, like, when we're literally the argument between those two is, like, who's really better? We know Jokic won the championship, but who would you rather have? Who's more exciting? Who do you like watching play more? Like, it's literally two of the best players, probably the two best players in the league. And so to say one's not a superstar because he hasn't won a championship, I mean, that's kind of tough because then at the same time you're saying, well, based on my criteria, Kawhi Leonard, clear cut, he has to be a superstar because of what you said, because he's the best player on it. Are you the best player on a championship team? The only way you can be a superstar is if you've proven that. But Kawhi Leonard hasn't done that in 4 years, and he hasn't really reached close to that since then. So are we still like – he could be a superstar. I think right now the way he's playing, I think he's back in superstar form. Don't get me wrong, but like he had to earn that this year prior to this season being played and then being 25-5 in the past 30 games and Kawhi playing really great basketball and being healthy and available. Would you have said he still is a superstar? And you'd be like, no, but based on the criteria, you put him in there because he's done it. So I think you got to be a little bit of polarizing, but it's not about the movies and stuff. Is your play polarizing and it carries off the court? Are you must-see TV? Are kids wearing your jerseys? Are you people's favorite players? Like, that's what a superstar is like, take the championships out, because guess what? Your money ain't made in the NBA finals at the end of the day. Your money's made when them 8 to 10 and 12, 13-year-old kids are watching Thursday night on TNT and their parents let them stay up late because they've been doing good in school. That's where your money's made.
Yeah.
And so are those kids wearing those guys' jerseys? Are those guys' favorite players? And so when we go through the superstars, are they rappers' references in hip-hop? You know, are they dating the baddies off the court? Like, that matters. Like, that
I
matters,
like that.
especially right now. So I think that's what makes you a superstar, especially in today's NBA, because a lot of these guys are not winning championships. They haven't won one now, but are we discounting how big and how must-see? You telling me you don't turn on the TV when Luka cooking
that's
up
why
because
they're
he hasn't won a
stars.
championship? He's must-see TV.
Like a year ago, I would have thrown Ja Morant in there. He was like right there. And just a real quick shout out, like playoff, whatever playoff Jimmy Butler is, that's a superstar.
Yeah.
You know, guys like that. I like Mo. That was good, Mo. I like that.
I understand that. I understand that but to me, those are stars. Like Joel Embiid's a star. Sorry, you're not a superstar.
Okay.
I've seen Jokic win a championship.
Fine.
I've seen him carry a team to a championship. I've seen him do it. Joel Embiid
is so close. Like, but
he's close.
We just don't know.
Talent,
he's knocking on the door.
TV.
I don't care about that. You're not a superstar. You're a star.
He's selling product. The mainstream media,
Stars,
they have to
you can
talk
still be a,
about
you
him.
can be
They
a
put
star
the
and sell
pressure on him,
product.
man.
That's
He's
cool.
a super. Nah, bro.
You're not a superstar.
Stars
I need
ain't
to see
selling
you carry a
product,
team to a
man.
championship. I need to
Stars
see you carry
ain't
a team.
selling product.
My
Well, see, I
superstar
look at-
category is very small. Like it's
okay.
and I know we were talking about Gil and like how he has two. I probably
was
have a
very
couple
small.
more than that.
Very
Jokic
small.
added to the list because we did last year.
Because he won a
so to me,
championship.
Steph, KD, LeBron, Jokic, Giannis. Those are my 5 stars. If you want to
Kawhi in
argue
there.
LeBron
You got to put Kawhi in there if you
and
gonna do
Kawhi,
that,
I
you're
put.
doing
So I got
it.
6.
Because
Everybody else, Tatum is
category
knocking
I
on the
had.
door. Tatum's knocking on the door.
So you're factoring in the past though, because I think if you say Tatum's knocking on the door, then Embiid is right there with Tatum.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. Embiid's knocking on the door. Those guys are a carry your team.
Embiid,
And
he
Tatum
ain't knocking on no door. He's in that doorway saying,
no,
why
he keeps
why
getting
aren't
hurt.
y'all letting
You
me
can't.
in?
Well, you stop getting hurt. You keep getting
The
hurt.
That is
championship
fair.
part, bro. I do
Tatum-
get the championship
Tatum-
part because Chris, you remember
But
Tatum
has-
can
my
stop
issue
pulling
with
up the
Tatum-
threes might help.
Tatum issue for me is late game situations where
His
he's
shot
jacking up
chart?
threes when he's 6'8", 240 pounds, and he's had #1 seeds. He's had all-star level players, and he's underperformed. That they should have destroyed Miami last year. Miami punked them. Yes, they came back, but they still lost game 7. So whatever they did didn't mean anything. And all we're going to remember is that you guys were down 3-0. You came back, and then
I don't think Tatum. But here's my thing:
so,
I don't think
Luka too. Luka is
Tatum,
probably the next one.
But I'm gonna tell you, I don't think here's my thing is it's more than just talent. Because I'm gonna tell you, I think Tatum a step under Luka and Joel Embiid. Because I'm gonna be honest,
I agree.
bro. I don't think Boston Celtics are must see TV. I don't think everybody rushing to the TV to watch Jason Tatum and the Boston Celtics. Where I think you more than likely, bro, you know how many people are rushing to watch Luka at 1 p.m. Eastern on the Sunday afternoon? Like, man, Mom, I want to get home from church to go. Like, you got to think about the kids too. I don't think Tatum is he's everybody in Boston's favorite player. But I don't think he's worldwide.
And
everybody
he could
loves
be,
Jason Tatum. I
and
don't think he's the must see TV though, that like Luka is or.
Well, he also Luka is not
category.
surrounded by a bunch of other all stars too. That's the thing too. So
yeah, but
Luka gets to stand out more.
Just real quick,
But
the problem with Tatum is he's game. We don't need to tune in again and watch Tatum settle for
jacking up
threes. It takes away from what he could be.
He could be a bigger star because he's 6'9", 240, and he could be a mega star.
I think that's a lot of what it is. And we've seen the games. We've seen Tatum have those games where I was like, okay, you know what I mean? This is that 76ers series last year. He had a couple games where we're like, okay, he's turned the corner. We saw Giannis turn the corner, and we all watched that Nets series and was like, Giannis just turned the corner. He's a different player now. This is what we've been waiting on. Tatum is, like you said, knocking on doors that's
Tatum,
that's
Luka, Embiid, SGA, all guys.
Isn't it crazy? I know we don't want to go down this rabbit hole, but I was talking to a buddy of mine, and he said the same thing. Isn't it crazy how many guys that we can say this about? We are flush right now with great NBA players.
There's so much talent.
Just tune in and watch SGA for for a quarter, and you're like, man, this dude is
always draft Kentucky guards. That's the thing.
But you know
always draft Kentucky guards because they will pan out. Because Calipari sometimes he actually devalues them in college, and then they go late. Like SGA went in the teens, and Booker went in the teens.
What a steal!
So Maxey went in the 20s. Emmanuel quickly in the 20s. All these guys that you're like, wait, I didn't see that in college. Yeah, because he devalued. That's another thing with college. I could do a whole show on college and how they actually devalue you when you and actually hurt your stock.
Because college coaches ain't worried about the NBA.
This conversation with my homeboy the other day, and I told
Jamal
him
Murray too, another one, top 10.
Before we close out, and I told him, I said, you ain't got to worry about sports being dry for the next 10 to 15 years. And he said, why? I said, because guess what? I said the NBA got superstars up and coming that are under 25. I said, and the NFL got superstar quarterbacks that are going to carry franchises for the next 10 to 15 years. So you have enough that are young enough. When you look at the NFL and you look at these quarterbacks and you start naming the names that are really going to, like, for the next 10 to 15 years, ain't none of them 30 yet. Not a single one of them 30 that are the big star names in the league right now. And then you talk about these up-and-coming stars. We're talking about fading out LeBron and KD and Steph. And you talk about Anthony Edwards and Luka and Trae Young and all these other dudes. Like, bro, they are set and taken care
Trae
of.
Young, 27 and 10, and he didn't make the All-Star team.
These cats in the right markets have stars too, as well. In football and basketball, the right markets have stars. But like the leagues are both taken care of for, at the very least, if you don't replace any of the talent that's here right now, if you don't replace any of the talent that's available right now, both the NFL and NBA will be good for the next 10 to 15 years, and then they'll start having conversations about how we got to get some entertainment. But they will have enough stars and quarterbacks to carry you and carry your product for the next 10 to 15 years. That's what we're gifted with right now. We don't have to worry about who the next face of the league is. That is a conversation, and we would love to know the answer, but there may not be an answer. That may just be, we're going to sell you the product of the plethora of these 12 guys that are 25 and under that are about to start entering their prime and winning championships.
And what's fun about the NFL is that we went through the Brady Manning, Rodgers, Breeze, and now we got everybody's chasing the one guy now in Patrick Mahomes. And that's kind of fun, actually, because there's all these guys who are really talented, and they're just battling to beat that one guy. And I think that's a good storyline for the NFL to have. Is like,
he's Jordan
chasing. He's the Michael Jordan, right? He's a LeBron James, and everybody's chasing him. So that to me is fun.
This is what
if he wins the Super Bowl, and we didn't even get to talk about Super Bowl. I'm sure we have Super Bowl week this year, so we have plenty.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about that later on Raw.
But like,
actually.
We got a show tonight.
We have this one guy everybody's chasing, which is I think it's fun. Like, it's so much fun that everybody's chasing this one guy, and he's stopping everybody from.
And he ain't even the MVP.
He's not even MVP, and it's the worst team. So it's fun.
This is the like, just before we talk, like, you're exactly right. This is what it looked like when Jordan was kicking it. Exactly.
Everybody's chasing Jordan. Like, everybody was so like. Great players, MVPs, David Robinson, Charles Barkley, Karl Malone, all these guys great, but they weren't better than Black Jesus, so it's like Patrick Mahomes but he just needs his dad and all his best thing Michael
Jordan ever did was kept Karl Malone from being an NBA champion. Now, like, I'm so glad that guy is not an NBA champion.
Stole MVPs from him. That's like they steal LeBron James MVPs.
But that's the whole nother story. Don't even get me started on that. I've never been LeBron having 4 MVPs.
Mo,
but here's what's funny.
Yes, that's a crime.
As soon as they gave
10 years,
they gave Malone that MVP, and I was like, "This is a wrap." Jordan gonna kill Jordan. Listen, everybody forgets that Jordan didn't just win that game. He stole the ball from Karl Malone.
He stole. He
took the ball
and then took the shot.
Karl Malone went down the court and made the shot in his face. Like, that's what Jordan did. Don't take his MVP.
Did. He took my MVPs. All right, you don't think Jordan was pissed that he didn't win
took his
9 MVPs?
Jordan literally took the ball from Karl Malone and went down and won an NBA championship in his building.
Yeah, that's another show I'm working on. Is
all right, we got to get
who should have been MVP?
Yeah, because I got to eat before.
All right,
this Rob. So
everyone, be well, be safe, take care, peace out.
Thanks, everyone.